Hey everybody, it's Steve with Sky194, and appreciate you taking the time out of your day to come by and visit and check out my video. And we're still here at Mount Panorama, just having a good time. Also had somebody ask about, wonder what the Nissan would do. And you know, I had that, I don't know if I probably already showed it, showing it as a video with me at the Nissan at Donington. So, I mean, I figured, well, what the heck, you know, I haven't driven the Nissan in a lot recently. So, and again, you know, it's like getting in a new car again. You haven't driven it in a long time, and you go out there and drive it for a while, and it's just all the different sounds and noises it makes. It's all, you know, it's awesome. And so I was like, oh, let's, you know, put an updated setup on it and just see what it can do. And I was, you know, pleasantly surprised. It's definitely not a slouch at all, for sure. And Godzilla definitely woke up and was tearing it up. So, like I said, we'll just make a couple laps, and then I will show the setup at the end, and of course a link in the description for the setup. And of course I have a link for my PayPal account also in the description. And thank you to everybody that has. If you want to help support the channel, I appreciate it. And whether that's a like or a subscribe or comment or just watching the whole video, all those are supporting the channel, and I appreciate it and thank everybody. So let's jump in the car. Go make a lap here around Mount Panorama, a place that I just love. And of course, just like all the cars, I mean, the biggest difference, of course, balance and where they're weak, maybe a little stronger here, a little weaker here, gears. Of course, the GTR is geared kind of low, so you don't ever use first. I don't use first for anything. So other than when you first take off, that's it. So second gear is low enough, and the motor's got such good torque. Even right through here, I just use second. And it pulls right up through there fine. If anything, if you use first, it slows you down. This is too low. Like I say, this motor, you know, it's just a V6. But that twin turbo, it makes good torque. So, I mean, it's real linear. Now, one of the weakest areas for this car and this whole track is coming up here, coming down in here. It does not like it. You got to take it a little easier, especially compared to the AMG, to the Huracan, things like that. They can just, man, you can almost attack it right through there. Not the GTR. It does not like it. It wants to lock up. I've tried different spring combinations, and it just doesn't like it. I guess the way the balance of the car is, you know, where the weight is, it just doesn't. I guess it's just too much weight on the nose or something. Of course, that other corner back there, I take in third, where usually I take it in second. So again, I mean, just like these corners, I take in second, not in first. So just different gear, you know, different because the car's geared so low. But that was my fast lap at a 2:02.40. And of course, this is a shorter stint because I didn't want to spend 30 minutes, you know, going through it. I don't know how many people want to use this or even drive the Nissan, but again, you know, I started with 85 liters. Let's jump to the last lap. I started with 85 liters because, I mean, that's what it took to do a 45-minute race. I mean, even though the other cars were over 90 because that's what they needed, but this one I think it was like 85, so I just put 85 liters, so it's still got a decent amount of fuel. That's what I started with. You see, it's still got 58 liters, and this is the last lap of 15 minutes, so it's still got a good amount of fuel. And, of course, one of the issues I was having, see, like that, sparks, you get a good amount of sparks around here. So, and I was trying to get the car raised up, but not raised up too much, and things like that. So, it's a fine balance. because I don't want it too high, yet too low, and it's just really banging in a lot of places. It's pretty clean through here, and of course, as the fuel comes off, it's going to raise the car up, and that's another thing. I mean, it's going to raise the car up, and that's so I don't want to be high already, and then when the fuel comes off, the thing's way too high. So that's another thing. But right here, you got to be really cautious. It wants to run wide, and I think it's just because you're really trying to tiptoe compared to, like I said, to AMG and stuff. It's pretty big difference. Let's look at the speed coming down here. It's not bad. .173. So it's not bad. I mean, it's a mile an hour off the AMG and the Huracan. Right about where the Bentley is, even a little faster. The Bentley, I still think, was 172. I'm not sure, but I know it's right around the Bentley, or maybe a mile an hour faster. So still, I mean, it's doing pretty good. Great looking car. Of course, that's got my livery on it, but I mean, the GTR is such a good looking car. That was a 202.79 was my last lap. I had a couple mess ups, didn't go off, but I mean, I had no outs, but it just, basically not, hitting it like I need to. Again, it's just not driving it as much, and need to drive it more often to be more consistent. And of course, the car changes too, so that's another thing you kind of change with it. But it was running mostly high 202s to 203, really low 203s. So that's pretty good. I thought it was pretty decent anyway. Let's go look at the setup. And we got 26.7 left front, 26.9 left rear, 26.1 right front, and 26.4 right rear. The toes negative .06 with the camber at negative 3.4 and the caster at 14.1. The toe on the rear is .05 with the camber at negative 2.8. Actually, it's supposed to be 6. So I must have hit that accidentally. But yeah, it's supposed to be 0.6. We got electronics 3 and 4. You can go down to 2, but just beware. Really should have probably good tires, more, fresher tires. Fuel, of course, I had 85 liters, and the tires were, I had a light flat spot on the right front, and I'm sure that's from going down into that. It's not liking it. Other than that, it's all perfect. Wear is not too bad, So that's that. Mechanical got 6 on the anti-roll bar, 61 on the brake bias, which you can go down. I only went down a teeny bit, so that was on the last lap. That's it, since it was such a shorter stint. Steering ratio is all the way down. Springs are 166,000 with a bump stop rate of 1,000 and a bump stop range of 5. And I did go up one higher, but I just didn't like it. I went up, tried to stiffen it up, especially for going down in there, but I didn't like it, and had hurt it in some other places. So when I went up to 176, so I just went back down. The springs in the rear are 136,000 with a bump stop rate of 600 and a bump stop range of 20. Anti-roll bars 3, and the preload on the diff is 60. Shocks are 19, 13, 25, and 30 on the front, and on the rear they're 17, 12, 24, and 28. Aero, I have 56 in the front, 62 in the rear with a 3 rear wing and a 3 and the brake ducts, and the front aero variation is a 0.4 to the positive. Now, if you're going to do like a qualifying, you might want to try, I did try to do one less wing, and I think I was down to 60. I think I lowered it down to 60 down to here. So I did do that tried to do that, but again, it was pretty good, but I didn't like it over the mountain. It just made it too hard and too much fight in the car. So that's why I went up. And speed-wise, it's a 1 mile an hour difference. So you will do, if you have this set up, if you change this, you'll do 174 going down the long back straightaway there. So again, that's 1 mile an hour between the two, but I rather have it this way and have more consistency and less chance of wrecking going up over the mountain, and I'll give up the 1 mile an hour. So that's just me for a race setup. But again, I'm just letting you know, so in case you want to try it or try it for qualifying, it would probably work really well. So that's the setup, and of course, like I said, I'll leave a link in the description, and I hope you give me a thumbs up and subscribe. And I really appreciate you again stopping in. Again, thank you very much, and I hope you come back and visit again real soon. See you.